see everyone. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Okay, here we go. All right, Jamie is going to open us up in prayer, because we definitely need and want God's direction and blessing, and I need all the help I can get. So, Jamie, could you please lift our time up to the Lord?
Okay. So, Lord, we just do dedicate this time to you and ask, Lord, that you'd enlarge our understanding. Lord, that you help everyone that's supposed to be on this call to be on this call. And God, that as people are speaking, that we would have just a willingness to hear and guide us, Lord, and that all of this that we do this morning would be for your glory. And we thank you for it all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jamie, for that opening. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, we've got three fantastic speakers today. So much wonderful content to share. And then we have two others that are going to share a little bit about why it's so important to be at a weekend event, because Jamie will be announcing shortly a Louis event that's happening in March. And looking at the schedule here, I think one of the wins, and after this win, I think we'll go to Caleb because his time is limited, or maybe we should start now. Caleb, can you tell us 2 minutes why it's so important to be, Caleb, you went to the summit, didn't you, in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you were just at Louis' last event, and I heard that you made executive manager. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
You guys, executive manager, if you're not aware, that's 2,000 points. Hi, Jimmy. That's 2,000 points, and that's a check. That's what Kat's going to be hitting this month, and that's a check for about $500 or $600. It's really nice. Nancy's done it at least twice. And so, Caleb, tell us why it's important to, please, why it's important to be at a weekend event like it's coming up in March, or at Summit, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bob. Yeah. So I think it's really important, just from personal experience, to go to weekend events, because you really get to meet the people of the business. You get to meet the leaders. You get to sort of see what's worked for them. And I actually recorded a lot of it, like with my phone, so I could even rehash what I learned there. And they have the recordings as well. But so that's the one really important thing. The second really important thing is the people. And I know that, like, that's sort of connected to point one, but the training, the leadership that you see is really important in point one. And then in point two, it's the connections, the relationships that could even be ongoing. So I've gotten like 6 people's numbers from the past 2 events, and like we still talk, you know. And so just for me, like that's my personal experience. And all the equipping and whatnot, I think the people that you get to be around, they are the environment for you running your business. They help you, you know, create that environment. So yeah, those are my reasons.
Okay, good. And what happened to you after, had you already become senior manager when you got to the summit, or did that happen after the summit?
Yeah, I was already senior manager, and I forget exactly what happened. Yeah, but I have 3, I don't know if they're legs, but yeah, 3 promoters.
Okay, good, wonderful. And you got points, which is outstanding. You got to give a big hand. Excellent.
Thanks, you.
Okay, thank you for that input, Caleb. So you've seen tremendous growth. Caleb's have you been in only about 5 or 6 months, or how long has it been, Caleb? Is it longer than that?
Yeah, it's only been like 5 or 6 months. Actually, I got 2 promoters like very early on. So um yeah, so was really stoked about that. And the rest have been like members and whatnot. But yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that's outstanding. Thank you, Caleb, very, very much for sharing. And I think from there we should go to Cameron. Cameron is a wonderful guy in the Louis Smith team. And Cameron goes to all the events, weekend training events like Louis is having in March and convention and so on. Cameron, can you tell us why that's so important to do, please?
Yeah, going to the events takes the business from just being head knowledge and an idea of something that, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be sharing with people, to heart knowledge, to really being something that you feel. And it's important to have the head knowledge first, but you have to be around other people who are experiencing it. You have to be around other people who are putting it into action regularly. And even if you are doing that, you need to be around other people who are doing it maybe in a different way, because we all have times where we kind of get hung up, where we feel like we're at a dead end, or we might be feeling like we're in a really good season and learn something that we realize, oh, I need to pivot. I need to start doing something like this so that my business stays ahead with the times. So there's all kinds of little nuggets that you'll pick up from different people. And even if one of the things I've learned is if you don't necessarily gravitate towards how someone else is doing the business or how someone else is sharing with other people, or even what they're learning for their health, you may not gravitate towards that, but you'll realize, oh, I've got someone that I know that would love to hear that story. You won't hear those things outside of being together. And the last thing I would say is, I don't believe there's any such thing as online church. You can't assemble you can't assemble only over digital screens and do the types of things that, let's say, God would have us do one to another. You can't do the one another's in that way. There are a lot of benefits. We can be encouraged just like we are now, but you can't shake hands. You can't lay hands on people and pray for them. You can't take the Lord's Supper together. There's so many things that you need to be in person. So having a meal together, learning from other people, being able to sing together, there's so many elements of it that take that head knowledge of what we know NeoLife is and what we know it could be, and bring that into our hearts and compel us to action. So there's a reason why everybody's growth goes up after a business, and then it kind of peaks, and then it slowly starts going down until the next event, and then it goes up again. And it's because we as humans need other people. We need the human connection. We need to be around other individuals to inspire us, and we need to be there in person. So if you want to grow, that's where you need to go.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cameron. I appreciate your input and your leadership in the Bald Eagle team, Louis. Thank you very much. Well, I wanted to acknowledge about 16 individuals in our team who sponsored someone last month. And I think I'll have Nancy Reese pick one out of 16 names to win $40 because we want to incentivize sponsoring. That's what makes us grow. And the purpose of the business, of course, is to help other people. That's the whole purpose. And if we're not talking to anyone, we're not expanding. So I'm going to read these names just to acknowledge the people that sponsored someone last month, and we have gratitude. And for the next 2 months, we're going to be doing this. I don't know if we'll do it forever, but someone is going to get a check sent to them probably Monday morning for $40 to appreciate their efforts in sponsoring. So the people who sponsored this month, one or more people, is Victor Pearson, Barbara Chichester, Marilee Blomberg, Leslie Hansen, Carol Wilson, or Jamie. That's a team there. That's a team. Then Deborah Musak, Brent and Ramona Chichester. Daniel Hansen got a lot of people. Then Teresa Untalan, Tiffany Garza, Allison Wilson, Gabriela Aguiar, Lloyd Andrews, Stephanie Beckett, Laura Mason, and Bob Pearson. So we had 16 people brought new people in, and that actually is very good for us too, because we get more excited when we do that. So Nancy, do you want to pick a number between 1 and 15? I'll leave myself out there so that someone. Yeah,
7.
okay, Brent and Ramona Chichester. Okay. So Brent and Ramona, I'm gonna be seeing them in April, and they're up in Canada. I'm gonna make a note here. I don't know if I can send a check up there or not, or if I gotta give it to them when they're with us in April.
That would be Barbara Chichester's
Little brother, yeah, yes, and sister-in-law. Okay, so congratulations, you guys, and for everyone in the team, anyone you sponsor this month, you're gonna go and maybe Nancy will be our official greeter picker, or we'll pick someone else, whatever, yeah. And we wanna be continually reaching out to new people. Okay, we've got, I hope Araceli is on here. I don't know if she's on yet or not. But I've got 2 or 3 announcements here. One is that Jerry Brassfield will be speaking to all of us Monday at 9, and I will send a link to everyone for that meeting. It's a Zoom call. That's every Monday at 9, and we all know how fantastic Jerry is, so you want to be on that, and I'll send you the link when this meeting is over. And you can actually get on, if you get in touch with Ashley or Whit, you can have a reminder sent to you every Monday. They'll text you at 8:30 to remind you of that call. But staying connected, if we aspire to build a business, they call it staying close to the campfire. These calls are real important to make us feel connected. So Monday at 9 is Jerry Brassfield, and then every Friday at 9, it's called Wisdom Weekly, and it's only 30 minutes, and it's with the Wisdom Builder team. And I'll send you an explanation of how to get on their call too. They're growing like crazy, and they said we're welcome to be on their calls, and that's exceedingly valuable time. Okay, so then one last announcement here, 2 last announcements. One is that in March, the first meeting of the month, which is this one here, Ashley will be with us, who's a real firecracker. So we're really looking forward to having Ashley. And then Nick Gavrilov looks like will be with us too. And Nick is a father of 8, and they're building a very successful NeoLife business. His 15-year-old Jamie is building a business. His 15-year-old. In NeoLife now, you can join as a member. You can't get checks like a promoter until you're 18, but she's already getting free product at 15. She's got a whole bunch of people that are buying from her already. And then when she turns 18, she can switch to promoter and start getting checks. But she's already building a business. Very, very inspiring. And Nick had a PowerPoint he did recently. I'm hoping he'll do it for us. He signed up something like 9 out of 11 people at that meeting. Is that amazing? So that will be in March. And then Jamie, can you give us a little more detail on Louis' meeting, March 22nd?
I sure can.
Okay.
We have, when I put my glasses on, I can.
Okay. Okay.
The 2003 event is scheduled for, well, it's going to begin on Friday at 11 a.m. and going to be going, and that's for the world team. The lunch was provided at noon, and the session actually begins at 1. And they'll be going Friday night and through Sunday morning. And that's at the Mountain Table Hotel and Casino Resort at 777 Jackpot Lane in Fremont, California, right near Fresno, I believe, right?
What are the dates again?
The March 22nd through the 24th. And of course, Louis always has super good people. There's going to be some scientists, no doubt, and another world main people that we want to have there. So anyway, everyone wants to be there.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. And Cameron, do you know if that event is going to be almost all nutrition? Do you know? Because that's what I heard.
Louis said 80% nutrition, 20% business, since the last one was all business.
Okay. Okay. So 80.
Yeah, and we don't know who the SAB member that's coming yet. I believe it's between Dr. Beck and Dr. Applegate.
Okay, very good. So Lots of good training for us there. And we have a little scholarship deal going for any, I'm going to send you the flyer so you can register. I'll send that after this meeting. And anyone who is registered by next a week from Monday, we are going to scholarship. We don't always do this, of course, but we're going to scholarship $120 for that, which you'll get a rebate check at the event. So if you're registered by a week from this Monday, then you'll get a $120 rebate at the event, just to help out there. Okay, well, from here, is Araceli on? If she's not, we'll go to Jesus, but she might be on. Okay, if she's not, I don't see her. So we're gonna go to Jesus. He's down in California, and he is a very, very pleasant person. He's part of a couple that just qualified as director, and he has quite an amazing personal story. Just incredible how the products have helped his health. And he's also going to tell us a little bit about a mindset change that happened at Summit, which shows why it's important to be there. And so you guys, let's welcome very warmly a brand new, he and his wife are brand new directors. Let's welcome Jesus.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be with you this morning. Hi there. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you and present the meeting. We're very glad to do it. And as well, as you said, very happy about the situation. We want to start to be directors. It's just a bless.
Yeah.
Exciting. It's a bless. I mean, it's nice to see how the work reflects in that way. And as well, I mean, it's very nice to spread the love, right? I mean, all that benefit that NeoLife brings to our lives. Being able to share it with people that we care and love is just amazing. It's just an amazing opportunity and a blessing, as I said. So with my situation, I mean, I was super proud to be a very healthy person all the way in my life. When I turned 45 years old, and right now I'm about to be 53, I started to have a lot of issues at once, basically. And it started with high blood pressure, my diabetes. I mean, it started with the pre-diabetic situation, as well high cholesterol levels. And I didn't, at the beginning, I didn't notice that because, I mean, my high blood pressure is silent, so didn't know. But I was going eventually every year to check with the doctor, and she just asked me to have some brown rice pills, something like that, or red rice. But never happened. I mean, nothing happened to get better, right? Everything started to get worse and worse until I discovered I have a really high blood pressure, right? Then I started to have the NeoLife products. As well, at the same time, as I started with losartan because it was something that I needed to just fix at the moment. And with both, I started to be fine. And I can tell you now, I only get salmon oil, lipotropic, and garlic to control my blood pressure. So I'm out of losartan at this moment. So I'm very happy about it. But honestly, the experience that I had in the whole situations that I started to experience, honestly, the best and it's something that it really, really changed my life. And with all that, many of issues that my health started to have, I started to be with anxiety problems, very, very bad anxiety problems. So it made me, really, really, I was very upset about the situation because I didn't know and anything about anxiety before. So my life started to be very, I was desperate, I was frustrated because didn't know anything about it. And then with the NeoLife products, e-vitamin and the rest of the salmon and Pro Vitality, I turned that situation over. So I'm as well super thankful because now I can live my life just in a relaxed way. I don't have any panic attacks anymore. So I'm so happy about it. And the other thing that I would say that's another amazing, amazing testimony I have is I got diagnosed with diverticulitis. So I have thanks God, I have just about 4 or 5 events with terrible pain. As well, my temperature went high because everything came up as an infection. So I was going and I was urinating with blood. It was a very, very bad scenario every time I got those events. So as well, I started to have, let me explain you what happened, right? So I went after having the colonoscopy and just proved that I had diverticulitis. My proctologist, he went and go over my shoulder and said, okay, yes, you have diverticulitis. I'll see you in 10 years. And I'm like, okay, so what I have to do? See me in 10 years. And I was like, what? Okay, so I went with my general doctor, and he's Jesus. Well, basically for this situation, we don't have. There is no way to help you with a treatment for your diverticulitis. So you have to, first of all, just stop eating. You have to eat less time, and less, of course, less quantity, and go and Google diverticulitis diets and see what of that all that food is gonna be good for you, because not everything is gonna be fine for you, because every single person has a different reaction to food. So you have to check out. So I went as well. Very, very. Sadly, very sad. Went back home, and with Claudia, and another thing, I'm so thankful about having Claudia on my side, because she bought a book, few books about different diets, and she started to cook healthier, and just helping me and watch the times. I had to just wait between 14, 16 hours in every meal to just let my gut rest and try to just feel better, right? But at the same time, aloe vera, garlic, amazing. Yes, and of course, the acidophilus. But aloe vera and garlic, they did, it's a miracle what they did to me, because, what they did for me, because now I can eat everything, every single one. Every single food, I can just enjoy it.
Wow.
Without having all those reactions. And I can go anywhere. For example, I went to the summit, and I went to the Clear Lake, and I didn't have any worries about what is gonna be for food there, right? And it's been a while now, because I started to have that situation about 3 years ago, or now, Wow. And it's been probably like 3 years and I stopped having any flare-ups, any pain. Of course, there's sometimes that I have a little something going on, but I know that if I go with a little more aloe vera or a little more garlic, everything's gonna be fine. So that's my maintenance process, just having a little bit of aloe vera every day, like 2 ounces in the morning, and then some garlic. And then I'm a happy person, honestly, because it was just a terrible situation, and I was very, very worried because, I mean, after the colonoscopy, I asked the question to Claudia, right? I mean, what if this thing turns a cancer, right? Because I was afraid as well because I didn't know how bad was all that situation, right? So I was even thinking about being in that bad and having even a worse situation going on. But thanks God, things are amazing now. I'm very happy. I feel the blessings came over me and thankful about having Claudia on my side. You're always teaching me, always letting me know what is the best for me. And I mean, it's a great life now. So that's about part of my story, basically.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. And can you tell us what happened at convention, what your experience was like there?
Yeah, of course. No, that convention was just, yeah, 100%. I mean, it changed my life. At the beginning, when I was having the products, but to be honest, first of all, the first time I had a chance to take them, I didn't want to. Claudia came to me and she's like, I have something very good for you and you're gonna be better. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm fine with my doctor is giving me, so I really appreciate it, but I'm not having anything of that, right? Till right, till I had the high blood pressure situation. Excuse me. Then Claudia told me, you know what? I'm not asking you. You're having it now. I'm like, okay, I know. I'm with you. So I started to having the products, but that's it with NeoLife, and that was all at that moment. I was just having the products, but didn't know anything about the life that NeoLife and the NeoLife family have when we get together, right? So Claudia went to 2022 meeting with Louis and at Lake Hume, Hume Lake by herself. She drove by herself. I'm like, okay, take care, bye-bye. I don't really want to be involved in this. But she came back so excited and so full of energy and talking about amazing things about the meeting and what she experienced that I got curious about. What happened there? I mean, I want to know, right? So then the summit meeting came over and for San Antonio. And then Claudia told me, Jesus, I mean, if you want to join me, it's now your opportunity, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm totally in. So what an amazing experience. And as I said at the beginning, it changed my life 100% about the point of view that I had about first of all, a multi-level business, right? Or company as we are. And second of all, I mean, meeting people, I didn't have enough brain to keep all that knowledge and all the information that we got in that weekend, because I mean, seeing the scientific team, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, every single time I heard Dr. Applewood talking about nutrition, it was just like, I mean, wow after wow. And I mean, it was just, and amazing experience, just having all that knowledge just in front of me. And besides that, I mean, the family buyer that I started to feel. Yeah, I mean, I was the stranger. I didn't know where to go, or who to follow. And I mean, the pampering between all of you, it was a great experience as well, because I started to feel more comfortable with the hours passing. Then I started to just relax and start being stiff about the situation, and just experience it and enjoy it. So it was the first encounter. It was just amazing. And then that day, I mean, that opportunity, I had the opportunity to listen to Jerry Brasfield, and wow, that was another thing that honestly, I told Claver, right? I was expecting something way different from a person that has that wealthy life and power, to say it that way. That when I saw this humble person, just taking his time and talking from the heart, it was just like a very touching to me. And honestly, it was just like, wow. There is a leader that honestly I want to follow, right? And it was just an incredible experience. I came back just asking questions to Claudia. Please tell me this. Teach me about that. I mean, I didn't know anything at this moment. Just I got the pills and having. I knew they were doing something good to my life, right? But they didn't know what was happening with the neither with the business or what kind of pills I was having. I didn't know anything about the process and the amazing products that we have every day. So that was the first experience, amazing one. I learned. I started to watch a lot of videos, keep following the scientifics, and I mean, try to get as much I could, right? Then we went to Clear Lake, to the winery. And as well, I mean, this one is smaller, this one's with Louis, different, because I mean, it's like a workshop, right? You have to be, I mean, just awake. You have to be just trying to suck as much information you can. And as Cameron said, you learn to, there are keywords, there are always something different that the rest of the team does or do, that there's always a teaching or something that you can just switch a little bit in your speeches or in the way you do the presentations, that there's always you're gonna be going better and better, and getting better results from the conversations with people, right? I mean, honestly, it changes a lot, because first of all, the confidence to go and approach people, to me at the beginning was a no, right? How I'm gonna go and tell them, you know what, I have something amazing for you. And at the beginning, I knew, I mean, myself, right? I was saying, no, he's gonna say no. So I was beating myself before trying. Now there's opposite, 100% opposite. I go to the people, to that person, and I just tell, you know what, I have something amazing that I want to share with you, and this is my experience. And then people get very interested, and as well start with the business. First of all, not with the business, start with having the products, and they get amazed and happy. And I mean, this is just great how I learned from those meetings how to approach people in a better way, and how to present all the products as well in a better way. So, I mean, helpful? No, they're not helpful. They're amazing, honestly. And they're always, they're too short, to be honest. I mean, we want to just keep talking and listening with people. And as everybody says, you know, sitting with the family, listening to the stories and learning from that is just amazing. So far, I'm ready to go in April to Fresno. March, April. March, yes, of
So you're willing to go again, Jesus?
course.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, there is nothing that I mean, I have to use always modify my schedule, but I'll be there for sure. I mean, March 22nd, I'll be there. That's my birthday. I'll be there to celebrate my birthday with the family, with NeoLife family.
Nancy said she's gonna bring her husband to help him celebrate his birthday there.
Amazing, yes. So yes, I mean, I always gonna be trying to be there because how to miss the knowledge, the information, and as well, I mean, give a hug to the people that is there is another way to feed ourselves. Honestly, I mean, it creates a really great. The bonding there is just amazing.
Yeah, I remember bonding with Jesus in the kitchen there. Or
Right?
taking pictures in the kitchen because it was kind of buffet style and we were all going through. Remember?
Yes.
Mine, and I got a picture with Jesus and somebody else. We were there in the kitchen, and you guys give him a big hand.
Thank you, guys.
And you guys just think about that. The doctor had nothing to offer, right? Jesus, he had nothing to offer.
No,
No,
Now,
for verticulitis, no.
in fact, he spoke about
Yeah.
surgery.
and now Jesus can eat anything. He doesn't have to wait 17 hours. Is that awesome, you guys? Tremendous. Yes. Jesus, thank you for sharing about your experience. And you guys heard him say, you know, he was reluctant. He didn't want to in the beginning, but now he's ready to go back in March. So anyone in our team, if you're registered by a week from Monday, you'll get a $120 scholarship for that event in March. And what we're going to do now, thank you so much, Jesus.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, very extremely pleasant person, that's for sure. And right now we're going to switch to Araceli, and then we'll come back to Claudia, Jesus's wife. I should mention that Jesus and his wife sponsored 19 people in the last 2-3 weeks. Is that amazing, guys? Is that amazing? So just a tremendous couple. We're blessed to know them. So we're going to switch to Araceli for a minute here, for several minutes actually. And Araceli is also part of the Bald Eagle team, and she's very dynamic. She's very powerful. She's very adamant and definite when she speaks. That's probably what makes her powerful. And she has quite a health story, I'm telling you. And so does her husband, melanoma. You guys know how deadly that is. And they beat it with the products and diet changes. But Araceli's story is amazing too. And she has built a very successful World Team Sapphire business. So we're blessed to have Araceli. That's a tremendous accomplishment. Araceli, take it away.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm having throat problems, so I'm gonna try to do my best here.
Okay.
And thank you, Bob, for inviting me.
Thank you.
And well, part of my story is that I started trying NeoLife in 2013 because 8 to 10 years prior to that, I was suffering from a pain under my left ribs. And honestly, I tried everything. I tried every company, every product, every single root, every single tea, every single flower, everything. And nothing worked. And I was back and forth to the hospitals at that time, and I was desperate. I was really desperate. I was to the point that even I told my husband, I'm gonna go to the kitchen and get a knife and open my side so you can take me to the hospital so they can see what is in it. And of course I won't do that, but I just wanted to let my husband know how desperate I was. But thanks God, as he always works in amazing ways, my husband and we were invited to this birthday party, and we met Carlos Tristan. So they exchanged phone numbers, and later on he called my husband for a nutrition presentations, and I was on pain. I was like, whatever, you know. But thanks God he said yes. So he came to our home and he started talking about uh whatever it was for me, like lipid sterols, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, you can say whatever you want. It's the same thing. It's the same. I mean, I know use another name, but it's the same thing. And he's talking about 3NN and the amazing of the 3NN and yeah, whatever. I was like over there just listening. I don't even want to see what it was. But then he talked about his sister's testimony, and his sister was suffering from her spleen, and he talked about her sister's testimony, and there it got my attention. Not what he talked about the products, because I'm pretty sure that as everybody think about us, like yeah, it's the same thing. But the testimony spoke pretty strong for me, and there's where I told my husband I want to try. This is the last product I want to try. I already get the opportunity to another ones, nothing worked, and I did it. And I started taking Pro Vitality and Lipotropic.
Yeah. Stuck. Lord Jesus, please help us. Please help us, Lord.
If anyone wants to serve you quiches,
Is Araceli still here? Is Araceli still on, do you think? Would that be that she lost power? Okay. Okay.
Still got everybody.
Okay, so I don't know, maybe we should,
Come back to
okay, yeah, we'll come back to her. Okay, so when she comes back, we'll pick up. So we'll go to Claudia, and Claudia is a just a tremendous speaker. Her story is amazing. She was supposed to be dead, I think, about 23 years ago because of something that happened. And to some extent, Jerry Brasfield saved her life because he gave her products that she promptly put in her trunk and didn't use for maybe. Yes, that's Jesus's wife. And Claudia had them in her trunk. I'm not sure how long, maybe a year or two. I'm sure she'll tell us. Maybe she'll tell us. But she was in a crisis mode because of this horrible accident that could have easily killed her and was going to shorten her life by decades. The product saved her, you guys. It's amazing. And she just got back from Mexico. She went down there with a real introvert named Louis Smith. It's hard for him to speak fast, but she went down there and they met with Jesus's family. Jesus was here in the US, but they met with his family in Oaxaca, I believe. And there was going to be something like 7, and about 17 showed up, you guys. And then the next day they had 67 at a meeting. And Louis told his leukemia story on the radio in Oaxaca, and Claudia translated. And some of the people that heard the radio came to the hotel meeting. But at any rate, Claudia and Jesus have signed up 19 new people in the last month, you guys. So she's going to share with us her story. It's amazing how her body has responded to something that would likely have killed her. And she's going to share some about the Mexico trip and just business building ideas with us. So you guys, let's give a really super warm, enthusiastic welcome to Claudia.
Hey, well, hello everyone. Well, it's true about Mexico. Let me tell you a little thing, Bob. To my surprise, yesterday we were enrolling someone in the morning, and the person that was enrolling this person, I said, okay, this one is my first one for the team this month. And he says, no, we're closing today in Mexico. So actually for the month of January, that person went in. So now it's 20 for January.
Nice. What are you guys? Wow.
So because we closed on the 31st in here, but I didn't know that Mexico's close was yesterday, the second at 4 p.m. So when the guy that was working in the office signing that person up told me, oh no, we closed today, so it goes for this month. I was like, oh, I was so excited.
Really? It's wonderful.
Yes, it was just an incredible journey. Amazing. People are taking the products, which is the most important thing. And everybody is excited and happy. And one thing that I would like to tell everyone by experiencing this business is when you sign someone up, this is the difference of this business. This is the business of people, of love, of helping. Your job starts when you sign someone up. That's when the job starts, because that's when people start to have real questions, and they are all excited they sign up, but the day that they sign up and get the products, that's when your job starts. And I've been bombarded these days. The week didn't have enough hours because they start to get their kits and they start to get their products, and everybody wants to know how to take them, and everybody's excited. And I'm excited for them because I know what the products do. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesman. I cannot sell nothing.
Really?
No, I'm not a salesman. Absolutely not. I come from completely another field. I come from the medical field, and I was always very shy to sell things. I never had to sell anything. So basically sell things, it was something that it didn't resonate with me. And how I start with NeoLife that Bob was asking me, I started because he says it's true. Sherry Brasfield was a friend of my family. And when he learned that I had these situations, he says, why don't you try these products? And actually, I rejected him. I was like, oh, no. Let me tell you what happened to me. I used to do eye surgery in Buenos Aires. I'm from Argentina. And at 24 years old, I was recruited for a clinic. I was doing emergency in the public hospital, which I totally love. And I was recruited to go to work for this private clinic that was doing eyes. And honestly, the money they offered me tempted me. So I went to work there, but I started feeling empty because I like to be with the people from the public hospital. That was my heart and soul was. So I started to feel that I wasn't doing any service. And between me and the son of the owner of the clinic, we convinced the father to lend us instruments and lend us the things. And we were going to go with a nurse that we got from the clinic as well to do surgery for the people on the west coast of Argentina, which is very poor, and people were blind for no reason. So we were going twice a month. On Fridays, we would fly out to the opposite side of the country for us, and in the morning, and on Fridays and Saturdays we would do surgery for people that were blind for no reason, because the only thing we did was just fix their cataract in one eye, and people were seeing, and we were so happy, and we were also fulfilled with that mission. It was a little service within the profession, and we did that for 5 years. And one day, in one of those trips, from Fridays, we would do surgery with everything we took from Buenos Aires, was sterilized, would travel with us, was no problem whatsoever. But Saturday mornings, we were getting the things re-sterilized. Down there, it was no disposable things. Remember, this is all service. The clinic was giving us a space, and they were doing service as well with us. So every single thing was re-sterilized. And down there, they still use a system that in America has been banned for over 50 years, which is ethylene oxide. And that's really a very poisonous thing that here is being banned because it's cancerous, the product that they use to work those autoclaves. This was a very old autoclave. And one day, that Saturday specifically, the nurse was re-sterilizing everything. And not our nurse, the one that we brought from Buenos Aires, the one that was working in that place. And the machine got hooked and it wouldn't open. And simply didn't open because it wasn't ventilated from the poison of sterilization. But she forced the autoclave open to give us the thing so we could proceed with surgeries that Saturday morning. And she dressed me up. That day we did 14 patients. I remember that a number. It will never go away from my mind. We did 14 surgeries, and she actually dressed me up 14 times with the things that came from that machine that were full of the poison. So I used masks, gloves, and the tops that they would put on top of my clothes. 14 times overloaded with poison. At the moment, we didn't know. Nobody knew what was happening. Nobody picked up on nothing. Everything, the day went just like any other day, and any other normal day. At night, around midnight, I started feeling, I was just sleeping, and I woke up because I started feeling burning. And I woke up the nurse that used to travel with me because we used to share a room. I said, "Hey, Jenny, do you feel the heat?" And she says, "No." I says, "I'm burning." And she's like, "It must be you." But she turned on the light. And when she turned on the light, she grabbed her mouth and she said, "Oh my God, go to the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror." So when I saw myself in the mirror, I was literally like a monster. My forehead was swollen. My eyes were almost closed. My hands were like 3 times the size. And she shot me with an EpiPen. She was perfectly fine. Of course, she didn't use any clothes of those. And the next thing we did, we went to knock on the door of the surgeon of him. But he was so big that he didn't use gloves. He didn't wear the masks that were sterilized. Everything for him was open from a pouch that was disposable. So he didn't get to have such a bad reaction as me. He only had like a little thing from the clothing, little thing on the neck, because again, he was so big that the wouldn't close on him. So he was wearing that thing loose. So he had some red on the neck, but nothing to speak of. But immediately we called Buenos Aires, and the doctor came to our help. And I was transferred to Buenos Aires, and they took every single thing that we use in those surgery rooms, and they took to Buenos Aires. And 3 days later, the laboratories in Buenos Aires said that the poison on that, the concentration was 125,000 particles per million of the ethylene oxide, which is a deadly, deadly poison to sterilize. Of course, if it's used in the right way, it's safe, but in this case was a problem with the machine. And normal cases, what you have to find for the materials to be sterilized was like 100 particles per million. So I was just like, at the moment that I used it, they guess that probably was 200,000 or 300,000, because after 3 days of ventilations, they found out 125,000 particles. After that, my life drastically changed, because that was just the beginning. The horror of looking at myself, like if I went into the sun for 3 days nonstop, that's how red I was and swollen. And the EpiPen helped. And then as soon as I got to Buenos Aires, I got treatment immediately. But my treatment went for a long time. And my treatment was all steroids. And I used to take products because I developed an autoimmune disease right because of that. So I was in all kind of medicines. My hands went paralyzed. I wasn't able to move myself for over a year I needed someone to comb my hair, to feed me, to take me to the bathroom. I was just like that and shaking. So it was a really tragic experience. And it put me off my career too, because as I recovered after like a year and a half, I recovered a little bit. I tried to go back. And the day that I tried to go back, they had to take me out because actually I got my throat closed. Immediately I had an anaphylactic shock. So after that, the board retired me from practice because I cannot be close to those sterilization poisons, whatever is in a hospital. I'm very careful when I go to places and what they do to me. So I got treated for years with heavy doses of prednisone, among other things, which damaged tremendously my body, damaged my bone structure. I had to have all my mouth implanted because my teeth went loose from the meds. So it was a very, very tragic experience. So I came to America, and after 5 years of the accident, and I came to live in the Bay Area. I was living in San Jose, and there Sherry used to visit my house. One day Sherry called a phone number, a 408 number, and said, "Hey, let's go for coffee." And we said, "We're in Buenos Aires. Are you here?" "No, I'm in Fremont." "Why? I'm calling a 408 number." "Yes, it's the computer." So we came here, and Sherry started visiting, and we started visiting with him, and he was like, "Take this, take this, take this." And I was like, "Sherry, the best doctors saw me and nobody can do nothing for me. Here in America used to take care of me, the president of the American Skin Association, and told me, oh, you have to relax, go to the sea, never get stressed out, and just live your life like that." The autoimmune disease that I developed was rheumatoid arthritis. So when I was sleeping or quiet for a period of time, I had to actually turn my arms like that to turn on the bed. I used to wear special shoes called Z-Coil that had a spring underneath. They used to make them for me there in the Bay Area because I was walking with my toes. So I got to the point that the thing got really bad on me. They predicted I would not live a long life. For every 6 months, they were checking on my kidneys and liver. I used to have blood work, and I used to have scans for my liver and my kidneys to make sure that I wasn't, they were not shutting down due to the meds. And everything started to get worse on the mobility part, and they predicted that within a few years I probably wouldn't move and my life would be short. Well, I kept taking my meds because I was hard-headed and I was very much into allopathic medicine, and I didn't believe in natural medicine. So I had, every time that Sherry came, as he pulled the thing from his trunk, I would put it in my trunk. And I kept those for months. One day, I had to go to work to Los Angeles. I used to translate live for this group of motivators. And they had sold the event for thousands of dollars for a few days in a hotel in Los Angeles, in a golf hotel. And I drove from San Jose with my car to Los Angeles because I used to carry the equipment that the people would use. They had their own equipment, so I used to carry the equipment with me. I took the thing, I drove, I came in, I gave the people in the hotel the equipment to set up. I go to my room, I unpack my bag, I start to get dressed to start working within a couple of hours. And I realized I don't have my medicines. And that was just shocking for me because I could not live without my meds, because in a couple of days I would start to be swollen up again and I probably would not be able to move much. I was so nervous because I really had a commitment. I had to translate for them. So I rushed to the pharmacy. I called my doctor first for a prescription, and my doctor said, no, you have the prescription for this month. I cannot write another one. So I didn't get the prescription, but I ran to the pharmacy, got everything I could get from over the counter, Benadryl, you name it. Every single antihistaminic I took from over the counter. For me, those were like candy because my medicines were really heavy. So I took them and I went to the trunk of the car and I saw the products and I said, let's see if what this man says is true. So I grabbed the products and I took them to my room and I started to read them. And as I was reading them, I said, oh, okay, 3 a day. I'm going to do 15. I multiply everything by 5. So I grabbed all the things and multiplying everything by 5. When I saw on top of my bed, it was this amount of humongous products. I said, how am I going to take that? It's going to make me sick. So I asked for a blender. It came to my mind, I'm going to blend everything in liquid. So I grabbed orange juice. I threw the shake on the blender and I threw all the pills and I blend everything. Throughout the day during that week that I worked in LA, that's what I was doing. I was drinking that and I was doing my translations and I was taking the first couple of days I took the Benadryl and all of those antihistaminics.
Hey, Claudia,
That,
Claudia,
yes?
how long had the product been in your trunk? I'm curious.
In my trunk, some of them probably 3 months, some of them 4, 5, 6 months, because Sherry was, every time he was coming to visit, he would come with products and see me and bring me products, and I would just take them from his trunk and put them in mine. So it
But
was
it's
a
hot,
product
it's
where,
hot in
and
California.
it's funny because Sherry was like, you have to take them inside quickly because they get bad. They cannot be on the sun. They cannot be on the heat. Oh, yes, I'll take them in. But I never did. So despite that I left them in my trunk all the time, the products work. I blend everything. I drank that. That was the best week of my life in years. And I was like, oh my God, this probably is doing something. So I went back home and my son used to say, oh, Pablo Escobar is in the kitchen because I used to throw everything in the magic bullet and blend pills with liquids. And that's how I was taking them. I was liquefying them. And but everybody started to realize in my family that my cupboards were full of my doctor's medicines and the products were gone. So I went and I said to Sherry, I need more products. And he says, oh, now you can buy them and you can share your story too. So that's how my story with NeoLife started. I started by accident, and nothing is an accident. It's just the Lord that was on my way and guide me to not to take my medicines that week to work, and I had to take the products. From then on, I always took the products. The products been amazing to me. As you can see, I'm 55 now. Back then I was 35 years old. I just do normal life. I do yoga and I teach it. I do exercise. I run. I used to do a lot of Zumba at some point of time. So I'm just fine.
And you can run too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just incredible. Yes, I take several products. I'm not going to lie. But it's been an amazing journey for me with the products. The products really work. The products that worked for me and for my rheumatoid arthritis were the 3NN. I used to take big doses at the beginning, like I told you. I multiply everything by 5. So I was taking the 3NN said 1 to 3 pills. I took 15 pills at some point of time. And then I start to cut them down. And today I'm just maintaining doses. I take my Pro Vitality every day. I take 3NN, but I take maybe 2 extra ones, and the salmon oil, 2 extra ones. I take vitamin E. I used to take a lot of full motion. Now sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. And then I take vitamin B, vitamin C. And I used to take the multivitamin. I take the vitamin in the Pro Vitality now. I take my shakes every single day. I take Calmar. I take Vegan D. I take Upbit. I take Aloe, and I take Tre. Those are important combination.
Did you take 15 salmon and 15 carotenoids for a while initially?
Yes, I
Amazing.
was taking 15 things of everything. Then from 15, I went to 9. From 9, I went to 6. Then I went to 3. And now I'm just with the Pro Vitality, and I add 1 or 2 or 3 of them. And that's how I function. And it's been really good for me. So I don't take the amount of products that I used to take before, and my diet is completely normal. I've been in the challenge.
Yeah, you lost 18 pounds, didn't you?
No, I lost 35 now.
35.
So yes, because at some point of time I went off the tracks with the food, and I had too much fun with food, and I shouldn't. So I gained weight, and now I'm going back to where I should be. It's not good for my joints to be that overweight. So I'm going back.
Claudia, did they tell you that you were only going to live 2 or 3 years? It seems like it was in my mind. Is that not right?
Yes, the doctors. In Buenos Aires, my uncle was the Secretary of Health, so many doctors saw me under his own supervision, and they were all like, their faces. Of course, I knew it because I was from the same field, but their faces were like, this is going to go bad. And when I was seeing the medicines that I was taking, I knew it was not much hope for me. Someone in that amount of medicines, maybe 8 years would be something that you could survive, 10 years, but not a lot longer than that, because sooner or later my kidneys or my liver were going to shut down.
I see.
I took a lot of lipotropic too, and at the beginning, to detoxify, I used to take a lot of beta-gar.
Okay.
Doctors react well. We're getting well. How'd your doctors react?
Were the doctors quite shocked to see you now?
Yes, my doctor, yes, quite shocked. Even though in my family, my uncle was really shocked. He's passed away now because he was my mom's age. My mom is 90. But he was quite shocked that I was doing great, actually. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, tell us about that. Is just so exciting and thrilling. But tell us about your Mexico trip too, and anything that we should do to build our businesses too.
Mexico, what should we do to build our business? Like I was telling you, I'm not a salesperson, but I share the story with people.
Okay.
And I share many of your guys' stories. When I see someone in need of something, I share your story, Bob, and I share Araceli's story.
Yeah.
We became really close friends with Ara in NeoLife. That's what I'm saying. NeoLife makes families. We become friends. We are people that work together. Some of us are not in the same team. It doesn't matter. We help each other because we love what we do and we love people. And I always love people. So it's not difficult for me to share experiences. What I would suggest to people to do is share testimonies. Testimonies are good for people because people can identify with those.
Okay.
So not a lot about the product. I say a lot about the product when I have the person already interested. Then I start to say why, what we offer and not something else, and I explain why. But in Mexico, let's say what we did with Louis, we talk about his health issues. I share my own story, and we share how this helped to so many other people. So people that came to the first meeting, like you said, it was going to be 7 in the family house on Thursday night. It was 17. And then in the big meeting, they invite people. So there was 67 people in the meeting because the family invite friends and family.
Okay.
And we share basically testimonies, and we share to why NeoLife and why not something else. And people get really interested. It's just a matter of sharing your story. How do I get people to the meeting? I talk to the family. We share with Jesus our testimonies with the family. And Jesus was like, guys, you need to listen to what they have to say because it's really interesting and it can change your lives. So listen to what they have to say because for me, it did this and this and this and this. So this was warm. It was a warm market meeting, if you would, because it was friends and family basically that came to that meeting. Now, we did with Louis a radio presentation, but we only got 3 people from there. From the 67 people, 64 people were from the family. Got excited when they got the meeting, and they went and invited more people, and that's how it went, word of mouth. Yes, I did flyers, I did things to promote social media, but what sold, I believe it was the excitement that they heard on Jesus. And they came and they heard Louis, and then the next day they brought more people to the meeting, and that's how it went. And then
Was the excitement from Jesus, was that because of his amazing diverticulitis story and the blood pressure and so on? Was that?
yes, and because they know Jesus, and when Jesus left Mexico, he was completely healthy person. When he started to go through all of these situations, his mom and his siblings, they start to know, and we were in communication with them. Well, this is happening. So if my son is sick of anything, I want to know. So I never kept my mother-in-law on the dark about what was happening. We were having these horrible situations with Jesus going to emergency for the flare-ups of the diverticulitis, and the doctor at some point of time said that if he keeps flaring up, he probably needed surgery to cut that piece of the intestine and reconnect, which is a big surgery. So he had several flare-ups during a period of time and was treated with antibiotics. So between that and his high blood pressure that we found out like suddenly, I said, I'm not going to accept you cannot like my products, but you're going to take them. So he took the products because I kind of pushed him. And he fell in love with the way that he was feeling. And the family knew that he was taking them. So
Wow, that is so. Claudia, you're saying testimonies are going to get them excited, and then you talk to them about product after testimonies, the product that would help them, and then tell them what makes NeoLife different and better.
yes, that's the order that I approach people with. I talk about testimonies, share how good the saints do for several people in different arenas, and then I talk about why NeoLife, and then the people open the door, then I can explain what product they should consume. But I will never go with like, oh, I have this product, do you want it? Because I'm not a salesperson. For other people, might work. It never worked for me ever. So I always go with testimonies, and then I share why NeoLife, and then I listen to what they have to say. Like yesterday, I went to see a person that's a client of mine, and I went to see her for another situation, and I end up talking about NeoLife, and now we're going to have a Zoom today about that. So people identify with testimonies. Mm-hmm.
Betagard, did you take to detox?
They are talking about the 3-day detox. Yes, I take the 3-day detox.
Yes.
The 3-day detox I take now, like sometimes once every month. I took it for a while during my weight loss journey. And then otherwise every 2 months, I do a 3-day detox. But back on the day, to take the heavy metals from my body, I took 15 Betagard. When I was blending everything, I was throwing 15 pills in the blender.
Okay, that's good.
So I was wondering how people could detox from their COVID shots. If anybody heard how much you would take to detox from COVID shots if they realize they.
Do you know anything about detoxing, Claudia, from COVID shots?
Well, Betagard would be amazing. Betagard, and I would, if you did COVID shots, yes, Betagard. And I would say keep Betagard with you maybe for a good year, not taking 15 like I did, because mine was, I needed to do something like in a very fast pace because I needed to function that week. That's why I blend so many pills at once. But Betagard, if you take 3 Betagards a day, you will be pretty good covered to eliminate the heavy metals when you had the shots. Let's say Jesus he broke his rotator cuff a year and a half ago. He fall and he broke the rotator cuff and they had to repair that. And right when he came home the same day after surgery, I gave him Betagard to start detoxifying his body from the heavy metals of the anesthesia.
Right, right.
How long did she take the Betagard when she first did it?
How long did you take 15 Betagard, Claudia? Was that for like a month or 2 or 3 or how
Yes,
long?
my first month I took 15 pills. And that's how I ran so quickly out of products that Sherry been giving me for probably a year.
15 a day, 15 a day for quite a while.
15 a day, yes.
Wow.
But remember, that was a very, very drastic situation I had. I don't recommend to go like that because people can get feelings. I would not be afraid of what I would feel because I knew I was going to probably feel terrible because I was doing a shock to my body at that very moment. I was in total consciousness, but I was in that just desperate need of replacing the monster things I was taking. But if you take 3 Betagards a day, it's going to be just good. And you're not going to be feeling like that craziness that can feel if you take high doses.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up because we got to get Araceli too. But was it? I just wanted to ask you, Claudia, was that depressing that you had to sign up 20 people in the last 3 weeks?
Not really.
That's very exciting. You guys give her a hand.
Thank you.
I think it's interesting what Claudia said. She's not a salesman. She's pretty emphatic. But so I think for sales.
Let me share something. I came from Mexico. I was so happy because the team had these 16 new people. And I was like, yes, and qualify for everything that is happening. Yeah. And I was just seeing myself going to Jamaica. And Edwin calls me and says, Claudia, you need 3 in the US, otherwise you don't qualify. I was like, what? I'm like, how come? And that's when we start like rushing to get the 3 people here because we wanted to qualify for something here, but I'm not a salesman.
Well, but I think what your sales come from, I think it would be similar to Araceli too. It's because you believe in it, right? Conviction. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. I believe, and I always put myself in the hands of God. When our meeting started in Mexico, I actually play a song to Jesus, so to put the right words on our mouths to help the people. The idea is always to help others, and then Jesus does the job with us.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember you said you sing the Mexican anthem and the U.S. anthem, and then a song for Jesus. You said that's awesome. Isn't that nice, you guys? Yeah. Okay, well, Claudia, thank you so much, and tell Jesus I don't see him, but your husband is wonderful. Jesus, you just got a beautiful spirit. Thank you so much, you two, for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Araceli now. Thank you so much, Jesus and Claudia. And Araceli, I was just saying, she built a very successful business, World Team Sapphire. And she was telling her story there when the internet went down and her husband got over melanoma, you guys. And then they built a World Team business. So Sapphire, go ahead, Araceli, please.
Thank you, Bob, again. And I'm sorry, it was a bad connection.
That's okay.
So I was talking about my problem and little by little I start feeling good. So by the time that I start feeling great, then my husband was diagnosed with that cancer. That was an aggressive advanced cancer, doctor's words. And by that moment that we have the call, we just hold our hands with our daughter and start praying. And I have a question for our Lord. Wow. I asked him, what do you want me to do? That was my question. And he guides me, we call Louis, and he gave us the amounts to give my husband. And I applied to my husband the Gerson therapy, and we became plant-based.
Okay.
And I think that is something like we women have, like, okay, you're gonna do this. I'm not asking you, just like Claudia said to us, you're gonna take it. I don't care if you don't want it. So I told my husband, forget about food. You won't eat anymore. You're gonna eat only the food that I'm gonna cook for you. And we started the journey. He was taking probably, I don't know, easily 150 pills, tablets a day.
Wow.
And the only animal source that he was taking, it was our salmon oil.
Okay.
And a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard, but it's amazing how our body works when we give what our body needs, because our body doesn't need medicine or chemotherapy or radiation or things like that.
Yeah.
So by the oncology surprise, because I request the test every month, the blood test. So to see the progress, it was giving me hope every single month. So after 6, 7 months, the test came cancer free. And the oncologist was surprised, like, there is no cancer in your body. And
No,
that day, yeah, and that day I didn't went with my husband. So when he came home, he told me, honey, there is no more cancer. I was like, are you sure? He said, yeah, the doctor said so. And I said, I don't believe in the doctor. I need the test. And I got the test and I got everything. And like, okay, so what are we gonna do now? And we continue eating the way that we were eating. And before that, I wasn't interested in sharing your life. Believe me, I was just because I was feeling sick. I only took NeoLife for me and share with my parents and my daughter, close family. That's it. And Sister Galarza, every opportunity he had when he see me, he was offering, let me explain the business. I was like, no, thank you. I'm not. And continuously for years, for I can tell, I don't know how many years, 6, 7 years, he was Araceli, let me explain. I said, no, I don't. Just like Claudia says, I'm not a salesperson. I know I can have in my hands the best iPhone. I won't sell it. I won't. I'm not. So after the cancer, people start asking me, how come, and well, that was a door that was open, and I started sharing, okay, we use cellular nutrition. I never said a word in life. I always going by cellular nutrition. So my points were increasing, and then in 2019, November 2019, Cesar called me and he didn't ask. He said, I need 30 minutes from your time. And I said, okay, I'm gonna give you 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, he explained me the business, and I was surprised. I was like, that's it. And he said, yeah. And I said, it's all that I have to do. And he said, yeah. He said, if you do this, in 3 months, you will qualify director, and you're going to have your first $1,000 plus check. And I told him, okay, I'll do this. Everything that you said I have to do, I'm going to do it. But if I don't have my check, you're going to have problems with me. Yeah. And well, before the 3 months, before the 3 months, it happened, and I met with Cesar November, and then Ana Maria Riccardi from Italy came to Commerce, and I went to her conference, and she said something that it catch my attention, and I'm like, wow, I want to do that. She said that a friend asked her what she was doing for living, and she said, talk. And she was like, what do you mean? Yeah, my company pays me because I talk. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be paid by talking. I mean, that's easy. So I talked to her. I understood. I asked questions to her, and she was kind of my mentor in my uh, growing in your life. So when I qualified director, emerald director, before the time that Cesar gave me, I called Ana Maria. And then
Oh,
she said, okay, now you have another 3 months. I need you to qualify Sapphire. And she said, I will. And she said, I believe in you. And it, it, it was the excitement, it was the believing, it was the results. And as Claudia says, people don't buy NeoLife, people don't buy the cellular nutrition, people buy testimonies.
okay.
That's what I get from Carlos, and
Okay.
that's what I give to people. So something similar happened to me last year. Last year, I flew with Kendra to the convention in
Oh,
Mexico,
wow. Okay.
and we introduced that bit. And after the convention, I didn't come back to the United States. I went to my parents' place, and I signed up 19 people too.
Wow.
You know what? It was it was the right time. It was the excitement that I have. I went with the bead on my hands, and I said, "Bead, do this, and this." And I took my parents everywhere. So my parents are 85, and they see my parents how they are. They go in with me 2 hours Monday to Friday to the gym, and they work out really hard. And they ask my parents, I mean, how is that possible, you know? And then my parents start talking about the shakes, about everything they take, and how many years they've been taking that. And so testimonies are so important for people to people don't believe in your life, people believe in you, people believe in what you say. And I never take NeoLife as my business, never. I always take NeoLife as my mission. Because if I take up a business, people can see desperation in my eyes, in my face. Like, oh my gosh, I need to sign up this person. I need to sign up that person. I never do that. But by the way, Edwin's always usually call me 10 days before the month close, and Aracelia, you need so many people. And I say, okay, I will. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I will. And I have Diana Yassin, she's my emerald, and he's desperate with her and me because when he called her, he have the same the same answers. Diana, you need 2,000 points. I will. But how? Well, I mean, we're praying. And 2 days, well, it was the day that the month January was closed. And Edwin called me and he said, you need one promoter. And I said, I know. What you gonna do? I already have it. Are you sure? I said, yeah. So I hang up, and 10 minutes later, I text and I said, check my points. Oh my gosh, he said, I need more people like you in real life. But it's because of testimonies. It's because we've been working with people, and it's because of testimonies. Testimonies are super important. Your excitement that you are 100% believe in what you are talking. It's not that people read minds, it's people read your face. And they will know if you really want to help or you just want their money, you know. And follow-ups are super important. I'm not really good with that, but that's who I am. I don't like to be on people, and people know that because I have mostly of my people receive 1 or 2 calls a month from me, not more, and they're okay with that. And I text, and another thing that I really love to do it's to meet with them. I can tell that I know 95% of my people under my team because I usually love to meet with them. Wherever they live, here in the United States I go, wherever they live in Mexico I go because I want to meet them. I want them to see me. I want to know me. I want them to know who I am. I want them to see my soul, you know, and through that they feel that I care because they sometimes they call and they share with me their desperation because of their health or family members' health, and they know who they're talking to. I mean, because they know my face, and that's super important. Yeah,
Araceli, you mentioned Anna Maria Riccardi, right?
yeah,
And so if these guys, if everyone doesn't know, she is a multi millionaire who
shit.
used to have no money at all. She's friends with Jerry, and she wanted to just get a little business so she could have $100 or $50 or $200 to buy gifts for her family.
Yeah, actually, she shared that she only wants money to give a tie to her husband.
Right.
And she said, and I don't just give him a tie, I give him a Lamborghini. So I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah, her husband was this hotshot airline captain, fly all over the world and stuff. But she had no money because I don't know if he didn't share too much or whatever. So she just wanted to be able to buy a Christmas present without having to borrow money, get money from him. And now she's multi billionaire. And is she the one, Araceli, said that she gets paid? She gets paid for talking. Is she the one that said that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what we all get paid for, conversations, because that's how we connect. So do you got one or two other things you want to share with us that could be helpful? I mean, everything you've said is really good. And you guys, what Araceli said about testimonies, they say facts tell, stories sell. So, remember Claudia was talking about that too. Lots of testimonies first up. Got one or two or three other things you want to share with us, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, Bob. And with people on your team, when you have people that are interested in growing
Yeah.
their business,
Yes.
it's pretty important to invite them to events.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna talk about last year convention, and I'm
Okay.
gonna talk about Mark and Jamil Mercado.
Okay.
We invite them.
Yeah. Right.
Come here, come here. We
Let's
invite
fight.
them, and they were to the convention just because they have family in Texas.
Yeah.
They were just like, okay, we're gonna have fun. So they went there. They really enjoyed. They were surprised that the story of our company, how people, the community, and we came back in July, and then we worked through August, and in 1 month I qualified director.
I remember that.
But
1 month after convention.
but we work every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day we were in three-way calls. We were on meetings, one-on-one meetings here at my home, and he was here. He was here breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we enjoyed to be here, and that was amazing. And then Diana, that's my emerald.
Right.
She has been in conventions. She has been in the business retreats that we have with Louis. And because they don't just hear from me, because they will maybe people think like, okay, yeah, because Araceli wants to grow and that's it. But when they go to conventions or they go to the retreats, they have the understanding that it's not about me, it's about the team. Because if I care for my team and I help my team, obviously I help myself. So for a moment, I have to put myself on the side and be focused on my team. So my team can work and my team can see my example. I share with you, Bob, that I love to go to have home meetings.
Yeah.
I love to have home meetings. I really enjoy to have home meetings. So that's something that my team is learning, and I enjoy it.
Very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, our whole team was built on home meetings. That's how my grandfather built.
Yeah.
And so you're saying events super important. So just say that. I'm going to say that one more time. There's a $120 scholarship for any of our people in our team that sign up, are registered by the 12th of February for Louis March event. So I assume you go to all the events, right? RSLA, I always see you.
I do. I do. And I'm gonna share something with you. At the beginning, when I don't want to know anything about the business,
Yeah.
but I follow my husband and I will follow Louis everywhere. Everywhere he have a meeting, we were there.
Okay.
I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of notes.
Yeah.
As we always follow him, we were learning a lot. We were learning enough to apply in ourselves. And then when my husband was fighting cancer,
Yeah.
so but it's pretty important to be in meetings, events, in those international events. I mean, if you can go, but even here, the conventions are so amazing. You learn too much. You have that excitement, and if you have in your team people that you sign up like 3 months ago, don't wait. Share. I mean, don't do what I did. I'm gonna share something with you that I signed up 1 month. I don't remember if 1 month later or 1 month after Lavon. But Lavon signed up and she was doing the business. I didn't. So I'm like, why I didn't talk? Why I have to wait? Why why I wait? So don't wait. Don't wait. Just share and because this is not a business, this is a mission. And if you take it as a mission, it will work because God will bless you.
Well, Araceli, thank you so much. Appreciate everything you shared and your story and your husband beating melanoma. And now you've got a Sapphire World Team business. That's very, very wonderful. Congratulations.
Working for my one Ruby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Araceli. You guys give me a hand.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, what I'll do, I'm just going to read through recognition because it's a team effort and we're grateful for every single person on this chart that contributed last month. We're profoundly grateful. I'll read their names, and when the meeting's over, I'm going to send the registration for Louis March event to you. Yes, Kat? Okay. Okay.
Is we have a local event on March 16th where you're speaking.
Okay. Who's speaking?
You.
Me.
You're on the schedule.
Okay.
March 16th here in Grants Pass at the Fairgrounds for the Health and Wellness Education Fair.
Okay. March 16th. You guys pray for me so I can do good.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. All right.
On March 16th, 9 to 4.
Okay, and so then also keep in mind, you guys, please sponsor, talk to people. There'll be another $40 check next month and the month after for everyone will be in that pool who sponsors someone. And also I'll be sending Louis' flyer so you can register. And then I will be sending a link so you can hear Jerry on Monday at 9. And I'll send you content on how you can get on the Wisdom Builder, which is every Friday at 9. And I got to emphasize, Araceli said events are so important. And Dwight Johnson sells 100,000 a month. More than that, actually. Yeah, in Bend. And when he joined, you know how Araceli was saying she'd go to every meeting all over the place, wherever there was a meeting. Well, Dwight would go hear Don Lawson in LA. The next day he was in Santa Barbara, he'd go there. Next day in San Diego, he'd go there. Next day in Carlsbad, for like a week or two, Don Lawson would go, "You're at this meeting too," because Dwight would just drive to the next one. But to build the conviction and learn. So yeah, and so that's why I'm saying need to be on the calls Monday and Friday, because it helps us stay close to the campfire. Okay, so Jill Schroed last month had over 1,000. That's in Leslie Hansen team. There's a remarkable individual named Nancy Reese, and she did 1,005. So there's her hand. And then Mary Lou Stevenson in Texas, 1,016. Kat Bonnie, 1,034. Very grateful for that. Rick and Barb Bird. I don't know if they're around here or anything, but there's Barb over there, 1,252. And then Brent and Ramona and 1,417. Allison Wilson, 1,727.
Miss Jenny.
So Allison Wilson, 1,727. Lisa Hanson, 1,886. Sigrid Simpson, 2,003. Jolene Cox, 2007. Kevin and Janet Cornelius in Philomath with that beautiful window. I'm looking right out their window right now. Hi, Kevin. Kevin and Janet had 2008 points. Krista Osterman, 2033. Margie Ferguson, 2034. Laura Kickbooks, 2038. Mark Ritchie, 4,000. Dean Vandenberg in LA, 4,012. Janice Grange, 4,225. Gina Ellis in Wisconsin, 4,343. Victor Pearson, 5,000. Jamie and Carol Wilson, 5,214. And Jenny did 1,700. I'm not sure the exact number. 1,700. Then Marilee Blomberg, 5,285. Deborah Musak, 5,414. Leslie Hanson, 5,903. Barbara Chichester, 6,431. Daniel Hanson, 7,557. And then number one, Steffi Beckett. I'm going to read the group PV just shortly, but for personal volume, Steffi had 11,335. And Barb had a nice interaction with Steffi Beckett. Is this Steffi Beckett? Say hi. Say everybody hello. We're in a meeting down here, Steph.
I couldn't get on Zoom, but I tell everyone hello and I love them.
Okay, thank you, Steph.
Love you too.
Bye. Okay, so then for our world team members, Deborah Musak had 10,628. Leslie Hanson had 17,803. Victor Pearson, 26,778. And then Marilee Blomberg, 49,866. So thank you for our presenters, RSLA, Jesus, Claudia. You guys have just contributed so much. You guys give them a hand. Thanks so much, you guys, and you have a wonderful day. We'll look forward to seeing you in March, the first weekend in March. Ashley will be with us, and then the Gavrilov family with 8 kids and just a part-time business that's making their house payments. Is that amazing? Because that's the biggest payment anyone would normally have, and their part-time business is making their house payments. To me, that's amazing. Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Thank you
You
all.
too. It's great
Thank
to
you
see
all.
you.
Bye.
Take care.
Okay. Thanks for all you shared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.